Hey there, it's Donna Gilbert, just getting started with this YouTube journey. In the background, you can see this is my tiny home on wheels. My husband and I, we live in a 7 by 14 foot cargo trailer that we converted into living space. Currently, we're in Maine, and this is where we're going to spend our summer. And I am going to start my YouTube adventure, this journey, right here in the fields of my brother-in-law. And so this is what we call in the nomad world mooch docking. We are mooching off my brother-in-law to have the space to be unhassled. We don't need his power hookups. We are fully solar, but we do go over and take water from his exterior hose, and we use their laundry. So to get things started, I want to share just a few of my doubts, my fears, my perfectionist tendencies that are going to hold me back. And I'm sharing them not just because I want to talk about them, but because you may have goals, you may have things you want to do, like start a YouTube channel, like start your own business, like write a book, whatever it is you want to do. You may be holding yourself back because of these sometimes subtle, but yet they seem very valid excuses. So the first thing that comes to mind that is obvious for me is I live in a very tiny space. And typically, it's not really tidy because we have a lot of space in a very small place. And if you're interested in seeing what the inside looks like, drop a note in the comments and I will do a video, or at least pictures, showing what the inside looks like. The other thing that is a challenge for me is my husband lives here. Of course he lives with me. I am an introvert by nature. I like quiet. I like to have things tidy. I like deep thought. My husband is an extrovert, and he has this big energy, and when I'm close to him, his energy just kind of vibrates off of him, boom, 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 boom. And it kind of beats up against my introverted nature. And I love being around him. That's why I married him. And he has great energy, and he's a great balance for me. However, when I want to do something like this, create a YouTube channel to share some of what I've learned, my experiences in life, to just reach out, use a little bit of creativity, I feel kind of smothered by his energy. He can say things, they're not judgmental, they're not critical, but they're just unnecessary, unhelpful comments that make me start to doubt myself. You probably know someone like that as well. And so to create this experience, to create these videos, let me try walking. To create these videos, what I'm going to need to do is to overcome that, to find a way to manage it, to cope with it, to allow myself to grow, to be the person, the YouTube creator I want to be, even though he's going to be there. That's a challenge. And I do want to record more videos outside. This causes an issue because of lighting, because of bugs that may be flying around. Amazingly, today's fairly bug-free right now. But you can see my glasses are darkening, and so one of the things they frequently say, the experts, is you want people to be able to see your eyes. Now, one thing that it's one of those little nitnoid things. Doesn't really bother me, but it's a little distracting for me when I watch videos, is when you see someone, they have a ring light and you can see the reflection on their glasses. And it breaks it for me. It breaks that connection for me. And so I'm concerned about that. And yet, if I film outside where it's natural light, then my glasses will darken. What's the trade-off? Is that worth me not doing what I came here to do? Because I do feel called. I have long felt that I have this calling to share some of my wisdom. And in recent years, I learned that I am a human design projector, which means that's what I'm here to be, as a guide, to serve others by sharing what I've learned throughout my life, what I've read and learned from others, so that you can take what applies to you, what resonates with you, and just discard the rest. I'm here to plant seeds of self-awareness, of self-growth. Not to tell you what you need to do or how you need to do it, but just to plant seeds. And some of them will grow, some of them won't. Some of them will be designed for your garden, some of them won't. And I don't want you to worry about anything that I say. If it doesn't apply to you, disregard it. Don't take it as an indication that you are less than, that you need to change, you need to improve. Only you get to make that choice. So I had to step away from what I was doing inside that trailer. I had pulled out a bag. My husband had the desire to create a YouTube channel, and he bought some fancy camera gears and some gimbals, battery packs, separate microphones so he didn't have to be wired in. It's been sitting there for more than a year. He hasn't started anything, and I'm okay with that. But I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, I can use the equipment that he already purchased. And I took the gimbal out and I was trying to play it. And if you're not sure what a gimbal is a selfie stick that's on steroids. It keeps the video steadier. I'm using a regular selfie stick now, and you can see that it's a little bouncy. So a gimbal stabilizes that. And it has a lot of fancy things it can do. And I was sitting in there and I was starting to feel frustrated. It's like, I don't know how to do this. Do I want to learn this? And the answer is maybe, maybe not. So I decided to take a break. I could feel myself so frustrated. I could feel the tears starting to come up. And I knew if I had asked my husband how to do something, I would probably have that croakiness in my voice when tears are threatening. And so I just grabbed my regular selfie stick and said, I came outside because I just had to get started. And sometimes, no matter what it is we want, all we need to do is get started. See, and I'm trying to get the best light. Here I'm squinting, and here I'm shaded. So we may have to go with this. You're going for not perfectionism, but just something, just to get started. I can improve my techniques as I go along. And isn't that a cool thing when you start as a beginner? Even though we would like to start as experts, as having it all together, when we start as a beginner and we embrace that beginner's journey, then we can know, if we stick with it, that 10 videos from now, 20 videos from now, oh my gosh, there's going to be such a difference. Such a difference. So that's what I'm going for now. Hopefully this will be the worst lit video that I do, but it probably won't be, especially if I'm filming outside. The lighting is inconsistent. Sometimes it's too harsh, sometimes it's just real cloudy, and you don't have that. Here's the thing. Here's my plan. I am going to, when I go back in, I'm not going to commit to doing it today, but as part of this video, I am going to show you my exact starting point with my YouTube channel. How many current subscribers I have. I hope the number makes you laugh. Just so you can see where I'm starting. So that you know that when you start something, even if you're starting at the very, very beginning, it's okay. And the other thing I'm going to commit to in this video is learning how to use the gimbal. As I said, I have all of this fancy equipment, and it may make life easier for me. I feel very self-conscious walking around right now. I have my selfie stick pressed up against my stomach, and I feel like it's a pretty good shot, but it also isn't as stable as it could be. And if that can help me, then that would be a good thing to do. But I have to learn how to use it. And sometimes we don't know what will make things easier for us until we try them. And then we can make an informed decision. But in my opinion, and you can take this or leave it, what we need to do is move past the feeling of discomfort, of fear, the doubts, that low vibe energy that's draining us, that's holding us back, and get to the point where we feel comfortable with it. So we can decide if it's something we want to do from a place of neutral. And sometimes we try something and we discover, oh my gosh, this is so easy. It's going to make my life so much easier. And it doesn't take us very long. And other things, it takes a little while to get used to it, to settle into a routine, a pattern of how to use it. Sometimes we do things the harder, less efficient way because it's comfortable and familiar. It's the old adage when you're at work and someone is being hired or brought on to help you with your workload, Or children, teaching them how to do chores. Sometimes it's just easier to do it yourself. It's easier to do it the old way. But the magic can happen when you learn something new, you learn a new way to do things, you share the load. But there's that training process, the learning process. And once you can pass that task off or learn a new skill, ultimately your life does become easier. And so that's my mission for this week. This first week of being live, going real, going public on YouTube, to build a channel that is just going to plant seeds of self-awareness, self-growth, to inspire, encourage, and to invite and challenge you to step into that higher version of your unique self.